Here is something that happens in almost every kitchen in the world. You pick up an onion, you start to slice it, and within a few seconds your eyes begin to sting. They water, they blur. Soon you're wiping away real tears. And here's the strange part. You are not sad at all. Nothing is wrong. You're just making dinner. And yet your body is crying full and genuine tears over a vegetable on the board. So what is really going on? Why, of all the foods we chop and peel, does the humble onion make us cry? The first thing to know is that it isn't the onion's juice splashing into your eye. You can hold a whole, unbroken onion right up to your face and feel nothing. The trouble only starts the moment you cut it, and what reaches your eyes isn't liquid, it's a gas. An invisible little cloud rises off the cut surface, drifts up through the air, and reaches your eyes on its own. That gas didn't exist a second earlier. Cutting the onion actually creates it, through a tiny and very fast chemical chain reaction. So the real mystery isn't in your eyes at all. It begins inside the onion. An onion is built out of millions of tiny cells, and inside them, kept carefully apart, are two things not supposed to meet. In one place sit certain sulfur compounds. The onion has pulled sulfur out of the soil and stored it away, and held separately waits an enzyme called alliinase. An enzyme is simply a tool that speeds up a chemical reaction. As long as the onion is whole, these two stay apart and nothing happens. But the instant your knife slices through, you tear open those cells. The walls break, and the enzyme and the sulfur compounds suddenly mix together. That's the trigger, and the reaction begins at once. The moment they meet, the alliinase enzyme turns those sulfur molecules into new substances called sulfenic acids. But the story doesn't stop there. A second enzyme is waiting. One with a wonderfully exact name, lacrimatory factor, synthase. Lacrimatory simply means tear-causing. This second enzyme grabs the sulfenic acids and rearranges them into one small, light, volatile molecule, a gas. Scientists call it SYN, propanethyl S oxide, but you can just think of it as the onion's tear gas. It is light enough to float, and the instant it forms, it lifts off the cut surface and rises into the air. All of this happens in seconds. Now that little gas drifts upward, and your eyes are right there above the cutting board. The front of your eye is covered by a thin, wet layer of tears, and the gas dissolves into it, forming a mild, stinging acid on the surface. The front of your eye is also packed with sensitive nerve endings, part of the cornea, the clear dome at the front. Those nerves warn you the instant anything irritating touches your eye. They feel the sting and fire an alarm straight to your brain. Your brain doesn't ask whether you're upset. It simply reacts to protect the eye, calling for water to wash the irritant away. So your brain sends a signal to your tear glands, the lacrimal glands just above each eye, and tells them to release a flood of extra tears. The tears pour out to rinse the stinging gas off your eye. That's the whole reason you cry, not sadness, just your eyes defending themselves. And here's the lovely twist of why onions do this. The onion never meant to season your dinner. It built up all that stored sulfur as a defense, a way to sting any animal that tries to take a bite. We just happen to set it off every time we reach for our knife. For a long time this was just a good story, but scientists wanted to be sure the gas was really the culprit. So they ran a clever test. They knew that second enzyme, the tear-causing one, was the key step that made the gas. So what if you switched it off? In 2008, researchers in New Zealand, working with a company in Japan, used gene silencing to turn off that enzyme in a real onion. And it worked. They grew a genuine tearless onion, one you could slice without a single tear. The beautiful part is what stayed behind. It still tasted like an onion, only the tears were gone. It was never the flavor that made you cry. It was that one enzyme and the gas it made. So that's the answer to a question you've probably wondered about your whole life. You cry cutting onions because the cut releases an enzyme. The enzyme builds a tiny stinging gas. The gas floats up to your eyes and your brain answers with protective tears. And once you understand the gas, you can outsmart it. Chill the onion in the fridge first. The cold slows the reaction. Use a sharp knife so you crush fewer cells. Cut near running water to carry the gas away. Open a window or run a small fan to push it from your face. None of it is magic. just kindness toward your eyes. Thank you for being curious with me today, and take care.